Cowboy fans and YouTubers? Is that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you? How y'all doing? I know it's been a while, but really, it's been a couple days. We've had some time to disseminate what's been going on with this team internally. We've had the coach get asked about it. We've had Jerry Jones get asked about it. Right now, they're really not saying too much about the possible dissension going on in the locker room as far as players anonymously talking about the coaches. I mean, that's fine. They don't want to, panic the world kind of situation. But, somewhere they are thinking about it. In the back of their minds, they're just kind of wondering, is it the coaching staff? Is it the players? In the end, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, it is on all of one person, and that is Jerry Jones. You are the head of this monster. If you feel that you're going to have to throw your coach under the bus or players under the bus, you need to start looking at yourself first. Because ever since Jimmy Johnson was let go, fired, whatever we want to term it, this team has just not been good in any facet on the field. So, you think since 1997, you'd have figured out why this team doesn't work. You've rolled over coaches, finally, after about a decade of nothing from Garrett. You've always recycled players. And some, let's say, their talent definitely is worth it. Some others, their talents are just they just don't have it. I don't know what it is, because when some players leave us and go to other teams, they seem to show up. Unlike when we keep them or put them on second contracts and they do nothing for us. But you just got to look in the mirror, As an organization, any kind of business. If the product you're putting out, you're seeing net gains, but you're not getting that ultimate goal, maybe it's not just a mission statement. Maybe it's not the model. Maybe it's just something you're not doing at the top. And, maybe they need to have an undercover boss episode on them or something for Jerry to see the flaws in his own organization. Maybe then he can have an epiphany and see that what he's doing is just not working. It's just not. I mean, we can sit up here and blame the coaches, which a lot of fans are already doing, but I can't sit here and get mad at a coaching staff that took a job with no off-season prep, no training camp really to get into this kind of prep, and doing everything via Zoom and Skype. That's just not a way to teach anybody. And then trying to squeeze it in during the season is just not going to work. Of course, the one thing you can say is that if these guys are having a hard time learning a scheme, which we thought there wasn't going to be one, then, you got to simplify it. And we've had this problem before with Rob Ryan and his complex defense, and they got rid of him after a year when these guys said they couldn't understand him. It seems forever that we keep going out and getting defensive guys who are set to play only one scheme, and then we put in a defensive coordinator who changes all that. And these players are always, it just seems like they're always unwilling to change. And they always want the defensive coordinator to change for them. But they never want to do anything for the defensive coordinator. And that's just, I'm seeing that as a problem. That is a player problem right there. If you sit up here and keep drafting the same old type of guys and they're just unwilling to change, just like you, Jerry, then something needs to happen. You can't just keep rooting for these same things over and over and over and over. We did that far too many times already in the last decade. You get sick of it. And you think, as a guy who claims he wants another Super Bowl, you'd start changing your ways. But it seems like that's just a moot point. That's never going to happen. And then you think, oh, well, if Jerry's gone, things will change. Well, you got Steven. Steven's just as stubborn as his daddy. He's just a whole lot more penny pincher. So that means the product on the field is going to be even worse because he's never going to pay for a free agent that's any good. And then all you got is basically Will McClay. He's taken his steps up through the ranks, and he's gotten to where he's gotten to where he could be a GM anywhere in the NFL. But he's with us. And it's almost like we're wasting his talents, like the players on the field. Because he can spot some pretty good players in the draft, but he can't turn a whole franchise around in one draft. And this stuff takes time. And you got to think, these guys, if they don't make it, they're only on 4 to 3 year contracts. By the time you get to a draft 3 years down the road where you can actually make a difference, these guys are gone. So now you got to re-up the guys you just let go from the draft 3 years ago. Think about that. The 2016 draft. It brought us Zeke and Dak and Jalen Smith and Anthony Brown. And you're like, wow, if these guys don't get second contracts, we're going to have to upgrade again, right? We're going to have to draft for their positions again. So it's always a constant thing that you got to keep going over. If you're not stopgapping anything with quality free agents, then you're just wasting time. You're just hurting yourself over the long run. And that seems to be what we keep doing. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot with bad free agents, and then the guys that we draft don't seem to pan out after the first, second, and third rounds. The quality of players just are bad. And I get it. It's generally because we play enough to where we're not that bad in a draft other than 2016. To where we can get a quality player at the top of the draft. We're always picking later in the draft, so real great players are always gone. I mean, we did hit a home run with CeeDee Lamb, but that was luck of the draw. Because he could have been off the board long before we were there. And then what would we'd have done? We'd have got probably Clavon Chase on, and then where would he be? Doing absolutely nothing. On a defensive line that has done absolutely nothing. And if we'd have got Chase on, you think we'd have gone out to get Aldon Smith. And if that's no, then there goes pretty much your only defensive line productivity right there, gone. And put on a rookie who probably ain't going to do anything. So you just got to look at Jerry and Steven and work your way down. That's all I'm saying about that. You can't throw players under the bus even though you want to. You want to throw coaches under the bus even though you want to. We just can't do it. Until Jerry and Steven and Will can get everything all lined up and running smoothly like other organizations, it's just never going to happen. But in other news, Sean Lee and Chido Awuzie are slowly working their way back into practice. They're not going to be ready for this Washington game, I don't think. There's no way. But the game after against Philly, I think they'll more than likely be better to probably hit that mark than anything else. If not, it'll probably be the week after. We're just going to have to see what we're going to do with the offensive line. Mike McCarthy said Cam Irving is probably going to get his first shot at being back since week 1 to start. More than likely he'll be the left tackle, even though he's not exactly the best at any position on the line. But we got to do something. We just got to keep throwing stuff at the walls and see what sticks. If anything, this is now right where we're talking about where Kellen Moore is going to have to figure out a game plan to get rid of the ball faster. If they cannot protect him longer than 2 seconds, he's just got to get rid of that ball. There's nothing else to do. Because he's going to get killed against that Washington front. If he holds onto that ball too long, we're just not going to win. Can they create running lanes? I don't know. There are times where they look good and other times they just look lost. And, I'm kind of tired of seeing them run straight into the defenders. How about we do some designed outside runs? Because this ain't the 90s. This ain't Emmitt Smith. They're not running straight through a line, straight ahead like they used to. And you're not utilizing a fullback like that to give them a lead block. So why you keep running them straight into the heart of the defense? Do some design outside runs. Because once, even Pollard and Zeke, if you can get them on the outside into space, they do a whole lot better than trying to squirt them through the line and put them in between our center and guards when these guys can't even hold their own. But that's just my opinion. That's pretty much it that I really want to talk about. I mean, there's no keys to the game. Just don't lose. We can't really give them any other kind of advice because they're not going to take it. I'm tired of predicting anything because this team just makes you go crazy. Pull out your hair. And I have no more hair to pull out. So it'll be a close game, as it always is. It's just going to be, can our defense stop a slow Redskins offense? And can our offense get anything going against their stellar defense? That's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be line on line. Let's see who wins in the trenches, because that's where this game's going to go, in the trenches. Whoever wins that game, that's going to be who wins. It's going to be something. I was going to be going to a friend's house, but he has not gotten back to me. He's a Washington football fan. I was going to try and, get some footage outside of just me for once. And I haven't gotten a word back yet. So it might just be me on Sunday. We'll have to see. I do plan to do a live stream tomorrow before I go out with the family and do some things. So be looking out for that. I just don't know what to do with this team. You want to root for them, but you don't want to root for them, Like, geez, you just don't know what to do with this team. They're definitely a roller coaster. I mean, I've now taken to the fact that, why am I going to get stressed out about anything these guys do? It's just not worth it. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Basically, if we win, that's great. One step closer to clinching a division, but probably doing nothing in the playoffs. And if we lose, it's a better draft position, basically. So you're not screwed either way, really. But in the long run, you want to win. So you're just torn. Do you want a better draft position, or do you want to win the division? After what I saw last night, I want to win the division because those guys play hard. Why can't we get that kind of heart? Why can't we get that kind of grit? You don't see Philadelphia wincing into basically getting their quarterback. I know he doesn't always do great, but you don't see them shrinking under pressure. They still come out there and play their best, as best they can. But you don't even get that from us. Sometimes you see our offensive line doesn't even get out of their stance before somebody's flown past them. And Philly doesn't exactly have anything going on more than we do due to injuries. So, if they can play hard and the Giants can play hard and Washington can kind of look like they're playing hard, Why do we look the most inept out of all of that, and we're tied for first place? It just doesn't make sense. But that's all I got. It's Friday. It's the weekend. This is the first weekend I can say in a long time that I probably don't have to work completely through or partially. And hope y'all enjoy yourselves. Take care. Stay safe out there. Get ready for this game. I'll get ready for my live stream tomorrow. And if anything else happens, you know, if I don't get it, somebody will. Be a Dallas Cowboy fan, out.